Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Hello everyone, and we're getting ready for the post notifications to go out. This is Have Faith, Let It Begin. We're just make sure that the pre-show is set up for all those people out there so that they are aware of what's coming up today on our show. For those of you that are just joining us, we want to thank you for constantly subscribing to us. We want to let you know that we got a lot of feedback about the rocks from Gabbie, Santana, who's going to be doing the rocks, and we're inviting each and every one of you to take a look at that. That was yesterday's episode. So if you haven't had a chance, just go to that episode yesterday. It was about the rocks and what we're going to be talking about with Gabbie Santana. She's actually making these amazing rocks. I'm going to put the pictures on our website. That should be done by the end of this week. And I will be also putting the pictures this morning on our Facebook like page. So I just want to make sure you're all aware of it. We're going to get started with another rendition of Have Faith, Let It Begin. And it starts right now.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
On June 16th, 2018, a show designed for you, the Daily Commuter, went live. A weekly show all about faith. A show with motivational topics, inspirational stories, and personal testimony set out to change the world.
Don't you see that your faith is coming alive? Don't you see that it's tested every time? He's the one that makes your life divine. He's the one that makes you feel fine. Your faith's being tested.
Hi, I am Mia. You're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Hello, my name is Amari, and today we are back on another episode of Have Faith and Let's Begin. Hi, my name is Isabella, and you're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Hey, this is Freddie, and you're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Hi, my name is Angela, and you're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Welcome to Have Faith. Let it begin. Here's your host, Angel Santana.
10 seconds to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Have Faith, Let It Begin. This is a live edition, and it's today, Wednesday, August 19th, 2020. I'll tell you, we've got to start this show off with a quick prayer. There's a lot of people right now that are in the arms of, actually the path of a fire, and sweeping into this town. It started around 3 a.m., and many people are not aware of it. And it's called, I'm going to see if I say this right, Vacaville, California. So let's do a quick prayer for these people that some of them are not even aware, and this fire is sweeping through their town. Heavenly Father, we ask you to watch over this village, this town, this state, as this fires have built up. We ask you, Lord, to give these people knowledge, awareness. Allow them to, if they're sleeping, to hear some type of noise that wakes them up, so that they're aware that it's time for them to wake up and flee. It's time to wake up and move and get away from this fire that's on its way. We ask you, Lord, to guide these people. people are safe. I had to get that out of the way because that is important. So let's get started with today's episode. You probably didn't see that. If you haven't seen the title, I'm going to tell you what the title is. The title is called Lowe's versus Home Depot Customer Service. Well, we've talked about customer service many times, and I do mean many times on this show. We've talked about how customer service is not like it used to be. How, for some reason, individuals don't know what the meaning of customer service is all about. There are people that go to work because, they have to, of course. You have to feed your families. And then there's some that go to work because they love to. Now, let's be honest. Not all of us love to go into work every day, right? Let's be truthful. But some of us that actually have the joy of going to work every day, and we do the job mainly because we love it. Some of us that don't want to go to work every day, when we get to work and clock in, we believe in our jobs and we believe in helping others. So our personalities take over. And because our personalities are people personalities or friendly personalities, it shows. And our jobs exceed and we excel in our positions. Now, as I've stated many times, there's not a perfect customer. Not all customers are happy. Not all customers are polite. And not all customers have patience. But one thing is for sure. We, as customer service representative people, those of you that deal with the public, must remember that it is important to treat those individuals the way you'd want to be treated. Now, obviously, there's a story here. So, we went to Lowe's this past Monday night. We had to pick up some supplies as we're re-renovating our home. And we went into an aisle that we needed assistance in. We pushed the button and for assistance because there was nobody around. Overhead page went out and said, customer service is needed in the vanity area. So a gentleman did show up, and he was very polite. His name was Ralph, and he was a very, very professional and very courteous individual and was willing to help us any way, shape, or form. After we had gotten help from him, we went into a different department. And yet again, there was not a service representative available. So we pushed another button, and nobody came. And when I mean nobody came, I'm a very patient person. But 35 to 40 minutes after we pushed the button, nobody came. That's very frustrating. So we did not buy the product that we came to buy. We then went into the painting area and decided we were going to purchase our paint. When we got there, there was already a line of about 8 or 9 people. And the line was pretty long. And we figured it's not a big deal because it was the last item on our list. So we figured, well, we'll just keep looking around as I waited in line. And what I noticed was that people toward the beginning of the line, because I was at the end, especially the guy in the very front, was extremely upset. He was pacing. He was tapping his foot. He was showing signs of anger. And then I looked over at the counter, and I see the young lady named Patty. And Patty was doing all that she could to get everything in order. Let me give you an example. Patty was doing all that she could to make sure that she did the job well. She was working on a previous order, and you could tell that she was in motion. But what I liked about Patty was that every time she had an opportunity to walk past the front counter where we were all waiting in line, she made a point to make eye contact with each and every one of us, stating, "I apologize for the wait. I will be with you very shortly. Let me just complete this last order." And every time she would walk past, she did apologize, and she made eye contact with every single person on that line. I thought it was a little bit concerning that it was only one person at that counter. Now, mind you, the gentleman at the very first of the line eventually gave up. He threw down the paper and walked away. Patty noticed this, and unfortunately, there was nothing that she could do. She appeared to call for assistance, and nobody came. Eventually, as she was able to complete an order and then take on the next customer, a manager showed up. And I thought, great, they're going to be there to assist her. But they came over and they said to her, "Are you okay?" She said, "Yeah, just, trying to get these orders in." She said, "Okay, no problem." And they walked away. My theory was, where was the backup? Aren't managers supposed to come in and take over or at least maybe take some orders down? Assist her in any way, shape, or form? That didn't happen. Now, this has happened to me quite some time in both stores. But I do find that when I'm at Home Depot, and I find that the people are scattered around, but they're constantly looking to see if anybody needs assistance. Now, let me just be clear. I'm not a fan of either store. I don't have a favorite or preference over each store. I go to the one that's closest to my home. And it happens to be that Lowe's is the closest one to my home, and then Home Depot is within a short distance after. So I just go by whatever's first. But 9 times out of 10, I've decided to go to Home Depot because I usually cannot find assistance at Lowe's. So back to the paint story. By the time we got to the front of the line, she completed all the orders. It was at the end of our order where I looked back and noticed that the line had grown again. And then somebody had returned and actually started to help her. It's just a very, very discouraging feeling when you go into any store and customer service is not available. Or when you look up and an individual is not there to assist you. Nothing is far disappointing than walking down the aisle, seeing somebody with a jacket that is an actual employee, asking them for assistance, and their first response is, "I'm sorry, this is not my department." All of that is very discouraging. All of that is very, very upsetting. So let me ask you this. How often have any of you tried your very best to seek out assistance only to find out there was nobody around? How often have you looked around for someone to assist you, and when they do arrive, they tell you they are not able to help you, and they would get somebody? They'd walk away and not return. What happened to customer service? Why is customer service representatives or customer service not a word used, or whatever happened to the phrase, the customer is always right? Quite often we see customer service representatives have an attitude with individuals, even if they are not showing signs of frustration. Often, people like ourselves that go to shop are too quick to pull the trigger and ask for a supervisor because they don't feel like they're getting the attention that they deserve. Patience is key. Patience on both ends are extremely important. But why don't we have that? Where has it gone? Why has customer service deteriorated over the last couple of years, or decades for that matter? It's time to give ourselves an opportunity to be kind to one another. It's time to look at each other's both points of views and say to yourself, if I was in their position, I'd want to be treated just as good, if not better. So today, as you go to work, if you're a person that deals with the public, remember that customer service is important. You're a direct reflection of the company that you represent. And sometimes, when you take it to the level of where you feel as if you can help somebody, and yet maybe it's not part of your job description, but you want to help them to the best of your ability, it ends up looking good for you. It puts you in a better perspective. It puts you in the limelight, and you shine. Now, maybe some of us don't do it because they want the attention. Maybe some of us treat others respectfully because it's the right thing to do. One thing will happen. A customer will give you a review, a compliment, and sometimes those compliments can lead to greater rewards, like management. Think about that today as you go into your workplace. If you deal with the public, if you deal with other people, try your best to treat them with respect. Have faith. Let it begin.